I would like to save you a few hours of frustration before you start building your first Microsoft 365 automation. And to do that, I'd like to ask you two simple questions. When someone fills out a Microsoft form, where does that data go? Where should you be storing your employees, your clients, your inventory, or your onboarding requests? Because once you understand the answer to those questions, everything else in Microsoft 365 starts to make a whole lot more sense. So in this video, I'm going to give you a quick high-level overview of SharePoint and show you how it all fits together with Microsoft Forms, Power Automate, and Power Apps. So you can build business systems that are organized, scalable, and actually make sense. So let's jump right into the video. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video here in my YouTube channel. My name is Will with Local Systems. I help businesses like yours build internal tools, portals, and automation workflows. And over the next few videos, we're going to be building a complete employee onboarding solution together using Microsoft 365. You'll see how to collect information with Microsoft Forms. We're going to organize it with SharePoint, and we're going to automate everything with Power Automate. And eventually, we're going to be building a front end as well using Power Apps. But before we build any of that, I want to make sure that you understand how all these pieces fit together. Because once you understand the architecture of all of this, everything else becomes much easier to understand. So let's go ahead and get started with the big picture here. So when people first get into Microsoft 365, they actually focus on the exciting stuff. So Power Automate, Power Apps, AI, Copilot, custom workflows. But here's something that I want you to think about. Everything you automate needs data. Every dashboard needs data. Every custom app needs data. So before you even worry about automation, you should first ask yourself, where should that information actually live? And for many small and medium-sized businesses using Microsoft 365, SharePoint becomes a really good answer to that question. So now let's talk about what SharePoint is. And if you never used SharePoint before, don't worry. Because a lot of people think it's just a place to store files. And while they're correct, that's a component within SharePoint, it's actually more than that. And the easiest way you can think about SharePoint is that it's a place where your business can organize information. So sometimes that can be documents, sometimes it's structured business data, internal pages, or policies and procedures. And it also gives your business users a place to come collaborate and access some of that information. And because it's highly integrated with the rest of Microsoft 365, it becomes a really powerful place to build business systems around. So let's start off with the first component and let's talk about what a SharePoint site is. So what you're looking at here on my screen, this communication site in this employees operation, this is a site. So this is what's called a SharePoint site. And this is where you can come here and design this however you want to design it. You can share it, you can edit it, you can add members, and also you can create Microsoft groups that can be added to this SharePoint site. So you can just add those users to the groups and they'll be able to access this. Now, this is just a bare bone that I created for employee operations. There's also some templates that you can use, and you can look at the page details. You can create new page, new post. You can integrate different apps. This is where you can create the list. You can create document libraries to store documents. And also you can edit the navigation as well. You can rename it. So you can do a lot here. So you can think of a SharePoint site as a dedicated workspace for a specific team or department. So imagine that you're running a business. So you probably have HR, IT, finance, sales, operations, marketing. And instead of throwing everything into one giant folder, maybe in Google Drive or OneDrive, each department within the SharePoint sites can get its own organized workspace. So you can fill an HR site that may contain employee documents, company policies, PTO requests, employee onboarding, training material. And if you have your own internal IT team, you can also create a site for them that might contain asset inventory, help desk requests, software requests, device assignments, and internal documentation. And those are just a few examples. but each site can be created for different departments or teams, and you can specify different permissions. So not everyone in your company will have access to it, just people you specify. And organizing it this way makes your business easier to manage today and much easier to scale tomorrow. So now that we talked about what a SharePoint site is, now let's start to talk about what's in a SharePoint site. So now you're probably asking yourselves, okay, well, what actually lives inside one of these sites? Well, typically you're going to find things like document libraries, SharePoint lists, pages, site members, permissions, news, navigations, some of the things that I already showed you earlier. However, in this series, I really only want to focus on two main things, and that's going to be the document library and SharePoint list, because we're going to be using them constantly when we begin to create automations using Microsoft 365. So let's start off talking about the document libraries, because they're pretty easy to understand and they are exactly what they sound like. They're where your files live. So you can think of them like Google Drive folders, except that they're deeply integrated into Microsoft 365. So for example, you have a SharePoint site where you have documents, you have a document library, you can bring that location over to OneDrive and you can access it directly from your OneDrive, and you don't have to access those documents by logging in to SharePoint and going to that site. So those are some of the nice features that you can do with using the document library in Microsoft SharePoint. And other examples are where your HR department might store offer letters, contracts, employee handbooks. And for your finance, they can store budgets, invoices, purchase orders. And obviously you have IT that can store SOPs, network documentation, internal procedures. So if you're storing files, then a document library is probably the right place to store these files in. And let me show you how it looks within the SharePoint site. So within this employee operation, if I just click documents, then in here is where all my documents are going to live. So I can just start placing different documents here, and you see this add shortcut to OneDrive. This is what I was talking about. So you can just click this if you're on the Windows environment. I'm on a Mac environment here, so I can't do this. Well, unless I had OneDrive installed, but I don't. But if you did and you're on the Microsoft environment using a PC, you can just add a shortcut to your OneDrive, and you just go into your OneDrive and access the documents within that SharePoint site. So it's really efficient, really accessible. There's so much things you can do, and integrates well with the rest of the Microsoft 365 tools. And now that we talked about the document library here in SharePoint, let's move on to SharePoint lists. So now this is where things start to get really interesting, because SharePoint lists aren't really about files, but they're about information. And the easiest way you can think about a SharePoint list is a database table for your business. So let's take a look at it here, for example. So if we go here and you click on the list, and you can add a list, you can create a form. If you create a form within the Microsoft list, it will automatically create the list for you, which is like the database table. So let's reference back to Google Forms. So when you create a Google form, it automatically creates a Google Sheet where it's going to store those answers. So the same thing here. But instead of using Excel, it uses SharePoint. And you have different templates that you can use as well for forms. So I have a list here that I started, and let me show you how it looks. So this is what I started building for the new hire IT setup request. This is an automation that we're going to be doing, but I'm just doing it so I can do the demo with you guys. And so this is how it looks. So you have different columns, different rows where you can add data. You can even add different views into it, which is really nice. So you can show it in different types too. So as a calendar, a gallery, a board, and you can also adjust the visibility of who of your users need access to different lists, right? So that all can be managed. So as you see here, I have a few columns with different names. So I have a new hire full name, start date, department, job title. And obviously this can also be customized. You can add new columns, you can filter them. So you can do so much with this. You can even export it to Excel. So instead of the information being scattered across different spreadsheets and emails, with Microsoft Lists, you can keep everything together so everything lives in one organized place, And that's where the magic starts to happen with this. So now that you've seen document libraries and SharePoint lists, the next question is, okay, well, which one should I be using? Well, if there's one thing that I want you to remember from this video is this. If you're storing a file, use the document library. And if you're storing information about something, then use a SharePoint list. It's a simple distinction, but it'll make designing your systems much easier. Now, before you start building your first automation, don't start by asking, how do I automate this? Instead, ask, where should this information live? Who owns it? Who needs access to this information? Should it be stored as a document or as a structured data? Or will other systems use it later? Because once you answer those questions, building the automation becomes much easier. And always remember this, that good automations aren't built by accident. They are built on well-designed systems. So what's next? Now that you understand where SharePoint fits into the Microsoft ecosystem, it's time to actually start building. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how I would structure a SharePoint site for a small business and explain why I organized it the way I did. And then we're going to be building our employee onboarding list and connect it to Microsoft Forms, automate everything with Power Automate, send emails automatically, notify HR and IT, and continue building a complete real-world onboarding solution from scratch. And hopefully by the end of this series, you won't just know how to use Microsoft 365, but instead you're going to know how to design business systems that are clean, scalable, and built to grow within your company. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And if you need any automation, go ahead and reach out to us at localsystems.com and schedule your free 30-minute consultation. We'll be happy to work with you. Once again, my name is Will with Local Systems. I appreciate everyone supporting the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.